Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Someone is saving my life, and so we're out here today, and hopefully other people will be able to come.
A local cancer patient and her family hosted a registry event to raise awareness about the need for bone marrow donors. Her story and her outreach efforts top Health Watch tonight on Channel 2 News at 6:30. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Burton. Thanks for joining us tonight. Amanda Ratcliffe is battling lymphoma and working with a national nonprofit to help save the lives of other blood cancer patients. The Be the Match registry connects blood cancer patients with matching DNA donors who are willing to give a bone marrow transplant. Ryan Kennedy joins us live in the newsroom with more on the story. Ryan?
Jen, this registry has helped Amanda find the perfect donor for her rare condition. And today's event will not only help fund the Be the Match registry, but it'll help find more matching donors. It'll also help with Amanda's medical bills.
Batman is a vigilante, and I'm a cancer vigilante.
Amanda Ratcliffe was first diagnosed 12 years ago with large B-cell lymphoma, but she quickly battled away the disease.
6 months of chemo and was basically cured. After 5 years, no more cancer.
But last summer, a chest x-ray showed that the cancer had returned, this time with large T-cell lymphoma, a more rare condition.
The only way to cure it is through stem cell.
So Amanda, with the help of her sisters and 6 children, began asking the community to help save not only her life, but the lives of others with rare blood conditions.
It can happen to anyone. Anyone meaning, somebody that you love, maybe somebody next door, somebody that you don't really, talk to.
At today's event, community residents between the ages of 18 to 44 could join the Be the Match registry by giving a simple cheek swab.
All proceeds are split between Amanda and her expenses to Stanford and Be the Match.
There are thousands and thousands of people waiting for a match. And if we can help in any way to help get them a match, then that's what we would like to do.
Through the registry, Amanda has found her matching DNA donor. She will travel to Stanford next month, where she will get a stem cell transplant. Her donor's stem cells will be implanted into her bone marrow, which will create a new immune system that will kill her cancer.
I was graced with from God for that, so I was very lucky.
You can also donate to Be the Match by visiting our website, KTVN.com, and clicking on the blue News Links button. Covering Health Watch live in the newsroom, Ryan Canaday, Channel 2 News.
Thanks, Ryan. In celebration of National CPR Week, REMSA took to the community today to teach people what to do in case of an emergency. REMSA emphasized being able to identify when an emergency is happening and when to call 911. 911 dispatchers will be able to assess the situation and walk you through what to do next. But if you notice someone is not breathing, CPR is an important next step.
If you recognize there's no moving, no coughing, no breathing, you can get down and literally start chest compressions and just keep compressing until 911 arrives, and that will actually increase the chances of survival for that person.
REMSA emphasized that 90% of cardiac arrests happen outside the home, so it's family, friends, or even strangers that will likely be helping you in an emergency. They say if you perform CPR, you'll increase the chances of survival for that person by 80 to 90%. If you'd like to attend a CPR class, we've got a link for you at KTVN.com. Just click the blue News Links button.
Now, here's Chloe Beardsley's first look at the Pinpoint 2 forecast.
Well, we saw some hot weather this afternoon, and it's going to get even warmer tomorrow. Let's take a look outside. Sunny conditions all around Lake Tahoe. We do have quite a bit of cumulus clouds in the biggest little city tonight. Temperatures, as I mentioned, still pretty warm outside in the 80s around most of the region and 70s right around South Lake Tahoe. We're seeing light winds out of the east and northeast this evening, and temperatures, this is where they peaked this afternoon. It's going to be much warmer, 5 to 6 degrees warmer by tomorrow. Low pressure continues to move out of the region, and we're going to continue to see those skies clearing up tonight. Here's a look at your conditions right around 10 p.m. Tomorrow, we're going to wake up to lots of sunshine, and pretty mild temperatures are expected overnight in the valley. Take a look at that, only dropping down into the 50s for the Reno and Sparks area. As I mentioned, it's going to be much warmer by tomorrow afternoon. I'll have all the details coming up in a few minutes. Jen?
Thanks, Chloe. In Crime Beat tonight, 7 businesses are facing charges for serving alcohol to minors. It's part of a compliance test that included 4 bars and 3 convenience stores. The 4 bars cited include the Corkscrew on East 9th Street, Bullies on Sierra Highlands, the Sneakers Bar and Grill on Stead Boulevard, and the Blind Onion on Kings Row. The 3 stores cited are the Sack and Save on Silverado Boulevard, the McCarran Mart 2 on Stead Boulevard, and the 7-Eleven on North Virginia Street. Each business was charged $500 for failing the compliance test. The Reno Tahoe International Film Festival is wrapping up tonight after showing more than 50 films over the weekend. With people traveling from all over the country and even different parts of the world, directors say the events like this could help bring some film industry business to Reno.
And so all these filmmakers who are coming, 30 filmmakers from out of town, and having all them here and having all the other people here, it just grows Reno, it gets its reputation going, and it's for the right reason. And it's going to get more people coming and making films here, which is going to add to the workforce and a good workforce.
One of the directors in this year's festival agreed, saying that Reno and Tahoe have something unique to offer filmmakers.
To have it here, to have this particular piece, which is very close to my heart, premiere at this festival, has been wonderful because they have all these different venues. So I've got to see it on a big screen and a little art house as well.
The director tells us the response has been so enthusiastic, we'll probably see a 2nd annual film festival next year. One of Reno's most popular dog parks is closing tomorrow because of the drought. The pasture at Rancho San Rafael Regional Park is closing for the summer and possibly longer because of a lack of irrigation water. Low water flow in the Truckee River is forcing the federal water master to shut off a ditch that feeds the pasture with water. The reopening date depends on the water situation. And as the drought continues in Nevada and across the West, please stay with Channel 2 News on the air, online, and on Facebook and Twitter for continuing coverage and changing conditions. Just a friendly reminder, Virginia Street is now closed from Mill to First Streets to make room for construction on the old Virginia Street Bridge. To get around it, head north. You'll want to take Mill Street over to Center Street. If you're going south, take First Street to Sierra. Businesses around the bridge will stay open, as will most of the sidewalks around there will stay open. The project is expected to be completed next year. A Civil War veteran who died almost 100 years ago in Dayton was honored today for his service to our country. The Historical Society of Dayton Valley says Private Scott Cornell was a runaway slave who joined the Union Army. In 1863, he lost one of his legs after being wounded in the Battle of Honey Springs in what is now Oklahoma. Historians told us he likely ended up in Nevada for mining work and lived out the rest of his life in Dayton. Historians say his former slave master tried to stop his pension by telling government officials he received the wound while working for him.
Several doctors that treated him verified that they treated him when he was wounded in Oklahoma, and that it was a legitimate wound.
Experts don't believe he was given a proper ceremony when he died. So today, people gathered to honor the soldier 98 years after his death.
He, like so many others, sacrificed so much to preserve the Union, to preserve our country.
Historians are currently searching for Private Cornell's descendants. They believe he may have relatives in New York. If you know anything, you're asked to call the Historical Society of Dayton Valley. That number is 246-0505. And we'll have much more on this intriguing story tonight at 11. Still to come on Channel 2 News at 6:30, Jack Sutton explains some of Nevada's colorful mining heritage. That story coming up after weather.
And it looks like we have warmer weather headed our way, followed by some thunderstorms. I'll have all the details after the break.
You're watching Channel 2 News at 6:30 with Jennifer Burton, sports with Dallas Kolodny, and Chloe Beardsley's Pinpoint 2 forecast. Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. Channel 2 News continues with Chloe Beardsley's Pinpoint 2 forecast.
Welcome back. Well, we saw some beautiful weather conditions and hot weather this afternoon, and it's still pretty gorgeous outside right now. Temperatures still in the 80s just after 6:30 p.m. Not too bad considering it's springtime. Light winds just out of the east-southeast tonight, and here's where we peaked this afternoon. 85 degrees for our high temperature today, and it's going to be warmer tomorrow. I'm talking temperatures in the 90s. It's not going to last very long, though. We have quite a bit to talk about with our forecast. Now, the unsettled weather that brought us the thunderstorms, that low pressure continues to move east. But what if I told you remnants of a tropical storm could impact our area this week? It looks like it's going to happen. We have remnants of Tropical Storm Blanca just off the coast of Baja that will start moving up north, and that moisture could bring us some very unsettled weather. Now, you can see that tropical storm, which was recently downgraded from a hurricane, as it continues to move up north, we're going to see that impact our area by the middle of the work week, with the chance of thunderstorms expected, especially by Wednesday. Now, for the short-term forecast, we're expecting high pressure to continue building in over the Pacific Northwest, and for the next day or so, that's going to bring us pretty mild weather conditions with quite a warm-up over the next day or so. Now, as I mentioned, unsettled weather is on tap for us. You can see very clear conditions into Monday, but as we start to roll into Tuesday, things will really start to change. Remember that moisture I talked about? Here on our satellite, we are showing you that moisture that will continue to move northward, and we're going to see mostly cloudy skies. Unsettled weather will cause some thunderstorms to develop across the Sierra and northern Nevada, so just be prepared for that by the middle of the work week. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s for the mountains tomorrow, 80s and 90s for your highs in the valley. Northern Nevada will see a mixture of 80s and 90s for the region, just kind of depending on where you live. It's going to be another gorgeous day all around the lake. Look at that, temperatures peaking in the 80s again in the afternoon. Above average temperatures again in the valley, peaking into the low 90s for tomorrow. We'll take a close look at some of those neighborhood temperatures. Depending on where you live, it's going to be pretty mild overnight. Light winds are expected to continue later on this evening, with temperatures only dropping down into the 40s and 50s around the region. Tomorrow it's going to be a nice day, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. 82 degrees for your projected high for the Lake Tahoe area. It's going to be another gorgeous day around the lake. Gosh, I wish I was going tomorrow, but beautiful day, 91 degrees. Reno and Sparks area is going to be a hot day. Bring the sunscreen and get ready. Bring the water. It's going to be great. If you have allergies, we're in the medium zone over the next few days, with it looks like improving into Wednesday, with the most predominant pollens being mulberry, grass, and also juniper. So just be aware of that if you have allergies. We're going to see nice weather conditions continue for tomorrow, and like I mentioned, a good chance of seeing those thunderstorms is expected by Wednesday, with chances also possible Tuesday and Wednesday. After that, I'm calling it a light at the end of the tunnel into the next weekend. Look at that, temperatures cranking right back up into the 90s, just in time for the next weekend.
And that bright sun next weekend.
Yes, next weekend.
Sounds good.
We have to go through the chaos.
The chaos.
Get there.
Thanks, Chloe. Coming up next, we'll travel down Nevada's backroads to learn about the Silver State's colorful mining history. That story next.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News.
Welcome back. Nevada's old-time miners didn't leave much behind in those piles of dirt scattered about the desert, but they did leave a lasting part of the Silver State's heritage. Jack Sutton explains in tonight's Nevada Backroads.
Nevada, the desert, the sky, an endless sea of sage, interrupted only by the works of man. Here in Esmeralda, the signs of that work stand out as hills piled neatly high.
back in, I would say 1904, 1905 is when they started the operations out here, and Goldfield grew, believe it or not. There was 20 to 30,000 people here. You know, the same technology that was used back in the early 1900s still applies today.
Looking for the color is a hard endeavor. Underground, one must search through tunnels burrowed deep that chase the mineral. Gold, a special color. An ore to be discovered.
Basically, the miners were removing the soil on top of their ore, and that was what we consider dumps. It still has precious metals, but it is lower grade. They're moving that out of the way to get to the high grade.
What's worth more than gold? Perhaps this view, leaving us with an image of beauty defined by colors that come from deep underground.
One of the things I fell in love with in town is actually the old buildings and the old mining structures. There's a collection of head frames here in Goldfield that's absolutely fantastic. Well, I enjoy, there's always the engineering aspect is the unknown. And, you know, you'll hear about some people refer to gold fever. I certainly don't have gold fever. I enjoy more of the hunt, if you will.
Reporting in Esmeralda County, Jack Sutton, Channel 2 News.
Coming up, we'll head to New York for the Tony Awards, which honors the best in theater and features some of its biggest stars. But first, in sports, rumors have Nevada's head baseball coach headed to the University of Arizona. Dallas will have that and more next.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News, the live stream. Now, here's Dallas Kolodny with Channel 2 Sports.
Well, multiple collegiate baseball media outlets and the Arizona Daily Star are reporting that Nevada head baseball coach Jay Johnson will take the head coaching job at the University of Arizona after their head coach Andy Lopez retired last week. So far, though, nothing official from either university. During his 2 seasons with the Wolfpack, Johnson led the Silver and Blue to a 72-42 record, including this past season when Nevada went 41-15 and won the Mountain West regular season title, but missed out on the NCAA tournament after being eliminated in the conference tournament. Johnson also won Coach of the Year in the Mountain West. We've reached out to the University of Nevada, but so far, no word back. We'll continue to follow the story and update you when new information becomes available. Well, the Reno Aces dropped yesterday's contest to the Astros affiliate, the Fresno Grizzlies, 11-7, which was their 4th straight loss. Could they find the win column today? Let's head to the Valley for this one. Aces down 9-5 in the top of the 6th. 2 on for veteran Cody Ransom, and see you later, ball. No doubt about that. 3-run shot. Aces draw within 1. They would make a furious comeback after being down 6 runs in the 9th, but would ultimately fall in this one 15-14. They'll play again tomorrow against Fresno at 7 p.m. Let's head to the majors. Giants and Phillies. San Francisco up a run in the 2nd, but 2 on for Cody Ashe. Flares won the shallow left. That'll score 2, and the Phils go up 2-1. Later in the 3rd, Giants back up 3-2, but Odubel Herrera slams a solo shot to center, and the Phillies hold off the Giants today 6-4. The Oakland A's got off to a hot start against the Red Sox. Mark Cana lifts one to right in the second. Brock Holt keeps it from being a home run, but can't make the out. That is an RBI double for Cana. A's would have a 4-0 lead heading to the 8th, but then the Sox come back, down a run. Xander Bogaerts hits one off the Green Monster. That'll score 2 runs. The Red Sox take the lead and they don't give it up. 7-4 is your final. Well, Game 2 of the NBA Finals going on right now between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. And at last look, the Cavaliers are up midway through the third quarter, 51-49. LeBron James leads all scorers with 22 points. Klay Thompson leads Golden State with 20. The Warriors won Game 1 in overtime. I'll have a final and highlights coming up tonight at 11. Let's go racing. Sprint Cup Series in Pocono, the tricky triangle. 15 laps in, Martin Truex Jr. takes the lead. And he's led the most laps in the 3 previous races, but no wins to show for it. 26 to go. Danica Patrick cuts her right rear, and she spins into the wall. She wound up 37th in this one. On the following restart, about a lap later, racing close. AJ Allmendinger washes up the track and gets into Ryan Newman. Newman hits the wall to bring out another caution. Those two finish 38th and 39th respectively. In the end, Truex Jr. would lead the most laps and finally take his small one-car team from Denver, Colorado to victory. And they punched their ticket to the chase. Kevin Harvick finished second for the 8th time this year. Jimmy Johnson was in third. Tennis, anyone? Men's final on the clay at the French Open between top-seeded Novak Djokovic and the 8th-seed Stan Wawrinka. The French Open is the only major tournament Djokovic has not won. This one would go to 4 sets. Djokovic took the first 6-4, but then it was Wawrinka. He turned it on, taking the final 3 sets, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, upsetting Djokovic, winning his 2nd Grand Slam tournament after winning the Australian Open last year. Final round of the Memorial wound up in a playoff between Justin Rose and David Lingmerth. First playoff hole, Rose for birdie, and this one goes to its home. Rose is pumped. He puts the pressure on Lingmerth. So his birdie putt from the fringe, and he buries it. We go to a 2nd playoff hole. Rose on the green at 10 for par, and this one to the left. He would miss. So Lingmerth, the chance for the win. Calm, cool, collected. He puts it in for his first career PGA tournament victory. And Women's World Cup, Germany and the Ivory Coast. The German squad scored early and often in this one here. In the 3rd minute, they find the back of the net, and they would do that 10 more times in this one to beat the Ivory Coast in their Group B opener 10-0. But that wasn't even the most lopsided score in Women's World Cup history, Jen. That goes to Germany, though. 2007, they beat Argentina 11-0. The American women take to the pitch tomorrow at 4:30 our time. And kind of sad news, C.J. Johnson will appear to be leaving the University of Nevada, but when you have a good season like that at a mid-major type school, the big schools, they come calling.
They come after you.
Still nothing official from the universities, but we'll follow it.
Thanks, Dallas. Coming up next, we'll get a taste of the glitter and star power on the red carpet at tonight's 69th Annual Tony Awards. And then we'll have a final look at the weather with Chloe Beardsley. You're watching Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News.
Welcome back. Broadway's biggest night is getting underway at Radio City Music Hall in Manhattan as they get ready to hand out the 69th annual Tony Awards. The annual event honors the best in theater and features some of its biggest stars. CBS' Marley Hall is outside Radio City with the latest.
The stars aligned on the red carpet outside Radio City Music Hall ahead of tonight's Tony Awards. Among them, playwright Robert Askins, who is up for his first Tony Award for Hand to God.
For us to get this far is I think it's giving a lot of hope to a lot of people.
All the big names are expected to be on hand for tonight's awards, which is being hosted by Alan Cumming and Kristen Chenoweth.
I just love the excitement of seeing someone when they've won an award.
Me too.
And when they're passing by you backstage afterwards,
and
it's
they're in another world.
Yeah, it's so moving.
But all the preparations and the glitz and glamour of the red carpet are just the warm-up. Once inside, the focus shifts to the creators and performers up for tonight's awards.
Feel my pulse quicken.
Co-host Kristen Chenoweth is up for an acting award for her role in the musical On the 20th Century. She's up against two-time winner Cheetah Rivera, star of The Visit. Bradley Cooper is up for his first Tony Award for starring in The Elephant Man. Academy Award winner Helen Mirren could also win her first Tony for her role as Queen Elizabeth II in The Audience. Marley Hall, Channel 2 News.
Wow, that's something. And those clothes that they wear, the big robes and the hair.
Big hair,
Big
love
hair.
it.
Don't care.
Big hair, don't care.
I got no comment. My hair's not big.
Your hair's not big, sorry.
Well, your hair should be good over the next day or so. It's going to be hot outside. Let's take a look at the temperatures around the region. 80s around the lake and 90s tomorrow afternoon in the valley, well above our average temperature. Lots of sunshine is on tap for your Monday. 82 degrees will be our high temperature for the Lake Tahoe area. And conditions for Reno and Sparks, it looks like another good day. Temperatures hitting the 90s, so bring the water with you. Maybe put a case in your car. Take a look at the next few days. Chance of thunderstorms most likely on Wednesday, and just be prepared for that Tuesday through Thursday. And more sunshine and warm weather again expected by next weekend.
Looks great. Thanks, Chloe. And we hope you have a great night. We will see you immediately after the Tony Awards. They start tonight on CBS at 8 o'clock. Hope you have a great night. We'll see you after the show. Good night.
Not with Herb.
Oh, hang on. Just a sec. Sorry. This is on the wrong side. Wait. Sorry.